AOB, it was no joke in the Clippers-Nuggets game from these guys. As we love to say, the best two words in sports, Game 7. Second quarter, Nuggets up 1. Russell Westbrook picks off Harden and finds Aaron Gordon for the slam. He threw that thing down like dominoes. Now halfway through the second, Brody says, if you give it to me, shoot, I'll take it. 42% from 3 in the series, the best in any series of his career. Hey, Russ can shoot. Later in the second, Westbrook serves up Jokic with the no-look dish and one ref. Strong finish from the Joker. Nuggets up 6, still in the second. From defense to offense, get out of here. The block by Jokic. Jamal Murray says we're going coast to coast. Brian, in the first half, the Nuggets outscored the Clippers 20-4 in transition. They lead by 11. Third quarter, Jokic with the step back. You don't know me like that. We're doing that thing now where we keep track, so pay attention to the top right of your screen. Brown makes it a 5-0 run after that 3. He had 21. Next Nuggets possession, Jokic finds Gordon for the reverse dunk. 7-0 run. Next possession again. Murray finds Michael Porter Jr. for the corner pocket. Trey ball.
Wow.
Nuggets went on a 10-0 run back to back. Still in the third. Denver is up 20. This time Jokic finds Porter Jr. Nothing but net. He finished with 15. Man, it was going crazy in there. And they weren't done. The big man. Oh, yeah. That's barbecue chicken. And one ref. Jokic had 16, 10, and 8. Then the play of the night. Brown sends airmail to Gordon. And he's got friends in high places. Gordon had a team-high 22. Denver blows it open in the third, up by 27. Fourth quarter, Westbrook, he gets the steal. Oof. And it's showtime.
I love what he said after the game. I'm in there to, Sunday.
Do you want to say that? he tells the Clippers to go home. He had 16. Here's Jokic after the win.
I think that's the best description of us, finding the way to win a game, finding the player, finding the momentum, finding the stop, finding the basket when we need. So great series for us. We beat some great team, really talented team.
I think we could have gave a better effort for sure. At the time, I don't think this team was 30 points better than this. We've seen it throughout the first 6 games of this series. But you got to give them credit.
The Nuggets advance to take on the top seed Thunder in the conference semifinals. Although not officially yet, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic are very likely going to finish first and second for MVP. The last time the top 2 players in MVP voting met in the playoffs, Russell Westbrook and James Harden in 2017. But the Nuggets are moving on after a dominant Game 7 win. We now bring in 13-year NBA vet Quentin Richardson and Anscape senior writer David Dennis Jr. in the SportsCenter. David, let's start with you because, brother, I know you're itching to lay into these Clippers now, okay? I know you got a lot to say, so how bad was this collapse?
Look, I know it's the first round, but this is one of the most consequential and embarrassing collapses any franchise has experienced in the playoffs ever. Think about the money that this franchise has set on fire during this Kawhi Leonard era in the Clippers, waiting for a moment when he can be healthy and you can make a playoff run, and you're finally there, and you lay an egg like this. Playoff Jimmy Harden shows up in Game 7, 7 points, who has now had 14 points and average since 2020 in Game 7, below 30% all those games. Kawhi Leonard, you sat out half the season, so you could show up in a Game 7 like this, and you do not show up and you fold like this in this moment, and to cap it all off, you get to spend the next few weeks watching the OKC Thunder turn those assets that you gave them into a possible championship run, to a possible dynasty. Q, look, I slept like a baby last night, but if I'm a Clippers fan, I don't know how you sleeping well for a very long time after what you saw last night and what you're about to see for the next few weeks.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, Dave. Double D, it was bad. It was bad. I was sitting there like, not like this. Like, at least let's fight. Let's be competitive. Let's do something. But, I mean, before everybody start piling on the James Harden stuff, man, let me just say this, because I watched, and I felt like he was playing the James Harden game. You're not aggressive. You're not terrible if you have 13 assists. I felt like he came out and he was trying to set the table, like get everybody else going, and like knowing that I got the ball, I could get my game off whenever. He did a good job of getting people off. 13 assists is not easy to do. We all know that. And the blowout came too quick. He didn't get a chance to get himself going and try to get himself to go off because the snowball effect came. Everything rolled up too fast, and before you know it, you're down 19, 20 points, and you looking upward at everything, and the crowd is yelling, the crowd is loud. Everything came at him too fast, and I think it was just a bad night on the worst day possible in the Game 7.
Yeah, we got a little bit of yin and yang over here. Double D was cooking and Q calmed things down just a little bit, but the Nuggets are the first team to outscore an opponent by 15-plus points in multiple quarters in a Game 7 in NBA history. They now turn their attention to the Thunder, though. A little bit of a scary team, but listen to this real quick. Denver interim head coach David Adelman was asked about facing OKC, and this is what he said.
They're the best team in the NBA throughout this season. And I had a really good friend the other day make me feel awful. I said, yeah, if we win this series, man, we got to play a team that's 68-14. And he said, no, man, they're 72-14. I said, okay, that's right. Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. So you're going up against some dogs, some young dogs who got some rest as well. So, Q, how can Denver upset OKC?
Me personally, I don't think they can, but I think the best case scenario for them to try to is Jamal Murray has to go nuclear. Jamal Murray has to be that superstar guy that we've seen in the bubble and we've seen pop in and out at different times and go for 30, 40 points. Because we've seen the Joker is going to be a consistent variable that's going to be there every night, just depending on how high and how low he may go. But he's going to be triple-doubling and getting his points, so we know that he's going to be there. If they can get the superstar Jamal Murray and you still couple that with the defense and the complementary players, the Aaron Gordons and the Christian Browns playing well, that's the best chance they got at OKC.
Yeah, man, you turning me into a negative person this morning. I don't think the Nuggets really got a shot either. But we're gonna figure out a way to find a little hope here, and that hope lies in Jokic. And look at the last time that these two teams played. Jokic had 35, 18, and 8. The Nuggets hit 18 threes. They shot 56%, and a lot of that was the fact that Jokic was unstoppable. He dominated against those bigs, and you're going to have him do that and put up a little bit of cushion when he's on the court, because we know that those non-Jokic minutes have been a disaster for the Nuggets during the regular season. They're going to be especially trying against this deep OKC team. So when he is on the court, he has to be the best player on the court by far for the Nuggets to have a shot.
Yeah, that series starts Monday. OKC is currently favored to win that series at -900. Sheesh. Appreciate it, fellas. Speaking of Game 7, the Rockets looking to complete a comeback from 3-1 down against the Warriors in Game 7 tonight in Houston. So let's go by the numbers. Fred VanVleet has been lights out from behind the arc, shooting 67% on three-pointers over the past 3 games. He's made 18 three-pointers, the most in a 3-game span in Rockets postseason history. And Steph Curry over the same span, not cooking, averaging just under 20, shooting below 40% from the field, including 1 for 7 in the fourth of Game 6. But the chef has stepped up in Game 7s in his career. Curry dropping 50 in his last Game 7 against the Kings in 2023, becoming the first player in NBA history to score 50 points in a 7th game. 13-year NBA vet Quentin Richardson and Anscape's senior writer David Dennis Jr. back with us. David, we got a young and hungry team here playing at home against some vets who have been there, done that. So what's going to be the key to win this win or go home game?
It's about the two best players, about Batman and Robin for the Warriors, it's about Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. As you just mentioned, the Rockets have hounded Steph for the last 3 games or so, but we need that 50-point Steph Curry that we got in that Kings series a few years ago, and we need that same Jimmy Butler that went into Boston and won a Game 7 and almost won another Game 7 the year prior to that, because really the Warriors are running out of players. Pods, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton II have been negatives in these last couple of games. They're running out of options and people to make open threes. It's got to be Steph and Jimmy Butler taking over offensively, and Jimmy Butler taking over offensively and defensively for the Warriors to have a shot in this Game 7.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. On the flip side, David, man, the Rockets, they need Jalen Green. They need that 38-point game player that he was in, I think, Game 2. And listen, Şengün has been consistent. He's been the guy. He's been delivering for them and doing what he's supposed to do. But Van Vliet, these last 3 games, he's been the difference maker. He's been averaging upward of like 27, 30 points, and he's been the guy that's been pushing and driving force for them because Jalen Green hasn't been able to. But if they want to win this Game 7, they're going to need a big game out of Jalen Green, and they got to have the consistency they've been getting from Şengün and Van Vliet.
All right, so the moment of truth over here. We got to pick this game. So, David, who wins?
Man, there's a very fine line between experience and old. I'm going to lean with experience and the Warriors. I hope that carries them and they don't go out there looking old in Game 7. I think with Jimmy, Steph, Draymond, they find a way to pull this thing out.
Yeah, I'm with Double D. I got to go with the Warriors here. I got to go with the experience, and there's no way I'm going to bet against that little light-skinned dude, number 30, right now in the Game 7.
I feel that, man. The Rockets are attempting to win their 3rd series when trailing 3-1. The game tips off at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So for a Game 7 to a Game 1, Pacers Cavaliers begin their series today. Q, how can the Cavs make their first conference finals appearance since 2018?
Spider Mitchell got to be big time. I think he's a first-team All-NBA this year. He's led this team this far, and they've had one of the best records in the NBA. He's shown that he has the ability to turn it on and take over when they needed to. Now they're in the big dance, man. This is what they've been playing for the whole season, to get to these playoffs, to get to the promised land and to prove who they are and what they can do. This is the biggest stage. I feel like they got all of the pieces. They got a deep team, and he's at the head of the snake. I think they have a big series from him, and he leads the way.
Absolutely with you with the Donovan Mitchell, but it's the overall offense of that Cavs, I think, led by Mitchell, as you mentioned, Q, going out there and executing that half-court offense. That's one of the best half-court offense that we've seen in NBA history. What we know is that Pacers team is going to try to run you off the three-point line, but that leaves them kind of vulnerable in the paint. You have to attack that defense, get some shots, and make the Pacers pull the ball out of the hoop and get into their own half-court offense, because you don't want that Pacers team flying up and down the court. And one of the ways they do that is make you miss shots, get rebounds, and get in transition. Get in that half-court offense and execute, and the Cavs should be able to win this series.
Yeah, and to your point, Double D, the Pacers are 3-1 versus the Cavs this season, and they have seen that side of them, the Cavs. The game tips at 6 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, guys.
Wanna try to post at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA on the ESPN.